I'm 85 years old, and I live alone. Now, when most people hear that, they pause. They look at me with worried eyes and ask, "Aren't you lonely? Isn't it dangerous? Don't you get scared?" But here's the truth they never expect. I've never felt more at peace, more in control of my time, more connected to what really matters. They say getting older means slowing down. They say living alone means being isolated. But I'm here to tell you something different. If you begin each morning with intention, even life at 85 can feel better than life at 45. That's not just a nice idea. It's my real, lived experience. And today, I want to share something deeply personal. 5 simple morning habits, quiet things, gentle things, that I've practiced for years now, and they've kept me healthier, sharper, and calmer than people half my age. You don't need a gym. You don't need expensive pills. You don't even need perfect health to begin. Just a little time in the morning, just a little love for yourself, can change the way your whole day and your whole life feels. So if you've ever felt like aging means fading, or that living alone means being forgotten, please stay with me for the next few minutes, because the truth is, the most powerful years of your life might still be ahead of you. Before we dive into the heart of this video, if you find comfort in messages like this, please give this video a like and click subscribe to our channel. It helps us keep creating more warm, helpful videos for wonderful people like you. Thank you. Truly. Now, let's begin. You know, as we get older, the world around us starts to whisper something. It says, "You're slowing down. You're past your prime. It's time to step aside." And if we hear that long enough, we might start to believe it. But let me tell you something from my heart. Aging does not mean you're fading. It means you're transforming. See, when I was younger, I was always busy, always rushing, worrying, proving, chasing. But now I have something far more precious: clarity, peace, wisdom. And that didn't come from being young. It came from living, from learning, from aging. Science is finally catching up to something we elders have always known deep down. It's not age that makes us decline. It's neglect. Neglect of our bodies, neglect of our minds, and sometimes neglect of our spirit. But the good news, it's never too late to care again. Studies show that people over 65 who maintain simple daily routines, like stretching, staying hydrated, and connecting with others, can improve memory, balance, blood pressure, even reduce the risk of depression. And guess what? You don't need to be 25 to do any of that. You just need to believe that your life is still worth nurturing, because it is. You see, I don't wake up each morning wishing I was young again. I wake up grateful that I still have mornings, that I still have a chance to move, to breathe, to be. And when you see aging not as a slow goodbye, but as a deeper chapter, everything changes. So before we talk about those 5 habits that keep me energized and well, let's take a breath together. Inhale slowly, and as you exhale, let go of the idea that it's too late. Because if you're watching this right now, your story is still being written. And there's a beautiful chapter just waiting to begin tomorrow morning. Habit 1. Morning stillness and gratitude. Every morning before I speak a word, before I check the time, before I even reach for my slippers, I sit up in bed. I close my eyes, and I give myself just 5 minutes of stillness. No distractions, no plans, just quiet. Now I know. Some mornings your joints ache, your thoughts race, your sleep was restless. But that stillness, that gentle pause before the day begins, It does something powerful. It tells your heart you are safe. It tells your mind you don't have to rush. And it tells your soul you are here. You are still living. In that silence, I take 3 deep breaths, and I whisper, sometimes out loud, sometimes in my heart, thank you. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this new morning. Thank you for the chance to begin again. It may sound simple, but do you know what happens when you practice gratitude each morning? Your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals of peace and happiness. Your heart rate slows down, your blood pressure stabilizes, and your mind becomes calm. You don't need a meditation app. You don't need to sit cross-legged on a cushion. Just sit, close your eyes, and say thank you for what's still here. Maybe it's the sound of birds outside your window. Maybe it's the smell of coffee from the kitchen. Maybe it's just the fact that you woke up today. That alone is a miracle. So if you take only one habit from this video, let it be this one: stillness, gratitude, presence. Because how you begin the morning often decides how the whole day will feel. Are you ready for the next one? Let me show you what I do next to move my body and greet the day with strength. Habit 2. Gentle movement and sunlight. After I spend a few minutes in stillness and gratitude, I slowly rise from bed. No rushing, no pressure. I take a moment to feel the weight of my body, the firmness of the ground beneath my feet, and I whisper to myself, today I choose to move. You see, when you're 85, movement is no longer about looking good. It's about staying free, free to walk without help, free to reach for your cup of tea, free to live with dignity. And that freedom begins each morning, not with intense workouts, not with machines or treadmills, but with gentle, loving movement. I begin with a simple stretch. Arms raised gently over my head, a deep breath in, and then I release. Sometimes I stretch while sitting on the edge of my bed. Other times I stand beside the window, letting the sunlight warm my face as I roll my shoulders, turn my neck, and move my fingers and toes. It may not seem like much, but that small act, that choice to move, tells every cell in my body, you are still alive. You are still capable. And then I open the door. No matter what season it is, even if it's just for 2 or 3 minutes, I step outside. I let the sun kiss my skin. I feel the air, whether it's crisp or warm, on my cheeks, and I simply breathe. There's something magical about natural sunlight, especially in the early morning. It helps your body produce vitamin D, which strengthens your bones and immune system. It tells your brain to wake up, boosting alertness and energy. It regulates your internal clock, helping you sleep better at night. And more than anything, sunlight reminds us that the world is still turning, and we are still part of it. Now don't worry. You don't need to take a long walk if your legs aren't ready. Even standing by the porch or sitting by a sunny window can make a world of difference. Some mornings, I simply sit with my eyes closed, listening to the birds, smelling the breeze, and letting nature remind me that I still belong here. And for those of you who can move a little more, take a short walk down the driveway, walk slowly down the hallway, or even march in place by your chair for a minute or two. The goal is not perfection, it's consistency, because each small movement adds up to strength, stability, and independence. I'll tell you something I've learned over the years. Motion is medicine. And sunlight? That's nature's most gentle healer. Even 5 minutes a day, stretching your arms, rolling your ankles, and stepping outside into the light can boost your mood, clear your mind, and make your heart feel 10 years younger. So tomorrow morning, Before the world pulls you in a dozen directions, give yourself the gift of movement and light. Your body will thank you. Your mind will thank you. And slowly, day by day, you'll begin to feel stronger, steadier, and more alive than ever. Now, shall we move on to something that nourishes us from the inside? Let me tell you what I drink every morning and how it gives me the energy of someone half my age. Habit 3. Hydration and energizing breakfast. Ritual. After I've stretched my limbs, felt the sun on my face, and reminded myself that I'm still here, still breathing, still growing, I head to the kitchen. Quietly, gently. I'm not in a rush, because this next habit is sacred. It's not just about food or drink. It's about how I choose to nourish my body after a long night's rest. The very first thing I reach for is a glass of warm water with a little lemon. Nothing fancy, just clean water, slightly warm to soothe my system, and a slice of lemon for freshness and a boost of vitamin C. I drink it slowly, almost like I'm giving thanks to my body with every sip. You see, when we sleep, our bodies go hours without water. We wake up slightly dehydrated, and for older adults, even a little dehydration can affect memory, energy, and blood pressure. But just one glass of water in the morning can wake up your organs, flush out toxins, and ease digestion for the whole day ahead. Now let's talk about breakfast. Because at 85, I don't just eat to fill my stomach, I eat to fuel my day. And no, I don't rely on sugar-filled cereals, greasy bacon, or pastries from the freezer. Instead, I choose foods that give me energy, clarity, and strength. Here's one of my favorite go-to breakfasts. A small bowl of warm oatmeal, topped with a few slices of banana or blueberries. A sprinkle of chia seeds or ground flax seeds for fiber. Sometimes, a spoonful of plain Greek yogurt on top. And on other mornings, when I want something savory, a hard-boiled egg with a little sea salt, a slice of whole grain toast, and some lightly steamed spinach with olive oil. Simple, nourishing, easy on the stomach, but packed with everything my body needs. It's not about calories. It's about nutrients. What we put into our bodies each morning becomes the foundation for our movement, our thinking, and even our mood. And here's something else I've found. When I take the time to prepare a small, nourishing breakfast, even if I'm eating alone, it reminds me that I matter. That this moment, this day, this life, is worth honoring. Some mornings I light a small candle. Other mornings I play soft music from my younger days. Something gentle, like Nat King Cole or Doris Day. It turns a simple breakfast into a beautiful ritual. Not something to rush through, but something to savor. So if you've been skipping breakfast, or relying on boxed foods with labels you can't pronounce, I gently encourage you to return to simplicity. A warm bowl, a clean glass of water, a little sunlight on your face. These are the things that kept our grandparents strong, and they still work today. Tomorrow morning, try this. Before you open your newspaper, before you check the headlines or your phone, nourish your body with kindness. Give it water, and give it something real. And you might just notice you feel steadier, more focused, and even a little younger. And now that we've taken care of the body, it's time to nourish something just as important, the mind. Let me show you how a few quiet minutes of reflection can keep your brain sharp and your heart open, no matter your age. Habit 4. Feeding the mind. A page of reading or quiet reflection. After breakfast, I sit down in my favorite chair, the one by the window, and I take a few minutes to do something many people forget to do as they get older. I feed my mind. Not with TV commercials, not with noisy headlines, but with something thoughtful, something meaningful. Sometimes it's just one page from a book, a short passage from Scripture, or a few lines from an old journal I once kept in my 40s. Other days, it's a quote that makes me smile, like this one. You don't stop laughing when you grow old. You grow old when you stop laughing. I let those words sit with me. I reflect. I write a thought or two in a small notebook I keep by the lamp. You see, our brains are like gardens. If we don't plant good seeds, weeds will grow. And the best seeds? They're stories, memories, lessons, wisdom. They remind us of who we are, what we've lived through, what still matters. And did you know, people who read or reflect daily after age 65 are shown to have better memory, slower cognitive decline, and greater emotional balance. It's not about keeping busy. It's about staying engaged with life. Even 10 minutes a day can light up parts of your brain that help you feel awake, inspired, alive. So before you rush into chores or news, try this instead. Open a book. Write down a memory. Sit with a quiet thought. Give your mind something beautiful to begin the day with. Habit 5. Connection before distraction. And finally, my last morning habit is something simple, but it might be the most important one of all. Before I check my phone, before I turn on the news, before I dive into the noise of the outside world, I connect, not to the internet, but to someone I care about. It might be a short text to my granddaughter. Good morning, sweetheart. I love you. Or a message to an old friend I haven't seen in years. Thinking of you today. Hope your garden is blooming. Sometimes, I say a prayer for someone who's struggling, or I look at an old photograph and whisper thank you for being part of my life. Because loneliness, my dear friend, doesn't always come from being alone. It comes from feeling unseen, unheard, unneeded. But when we reach out just a little, we remind ourselves and others, we're still here. We still matter. Connection isn't about long phone calls or social media. It's about intention, a gentle moment of care before the world pulls us in 100 directions. And here's something beautiful. When you reach out to someone in the morning with a kind word, a prayer, a memory, it often comes back to you in the most unexpected ways. Because love doesn't disappear with age. It deepens. So tomorrow, after your glass of water, after your stretch and your quiet reading, send one small ripple of kindness into the world. And then, pause and feel how it softens your heart and strengthens your spirit. We've talked about 5 gentle habits now, each one simple, quiet, and powerful in its own way. But before we close this video, I'd love to speak to you directly, from one aging soul to another, because I believe the final part may be the most important of all. Let's talk, heart to heart. So now, we've come to the end of this little journey together. 5 gentle habits, nothing fancy, nothing hard, just quiet choices, made each morning with love and intention. And maybe, just maybe, you're wondering, will these really make a difference? At my age, can I still change? Let me tell you something I believe with all my heart. Yes, you can. Not because you're trying to be young again, but because your life, right now, still matters. You are not too old to begin again. You are not too late to feel alive. And you are certainly not invisible. In fact, there is a kind of beauty, a kind of wisdom that only comes with age, and the world needs more of that. The world needs you. Every time you choose to move, to drink water, to smile at the sun, to send love, to say thank you, you're not just taking care of yourself. You're shining a light for your children, for your grandchildren, for everyone watching you live with grace. So here is my gentle invitation to you, my friend. Tomorrow morning, choose one habit. Just one. Don't try to change everything at once. Don't make it a chore. Make it a gift. For your body, for your mind, for your spirit. And then come back here. Leave me a comment below and tell me how you felt. Tell me what changed. Even if it's just one deep breath or one quiet moment of peace, that is enough. And if this video spoke to you, if it made you feel seen or valued or inspired, please share it with someone else, a neighbor, a sister, or even just your grown-up children, because no one tells us these things when we're older. And yet, this is when we need to hear them most. Before we close, let me say this. You are not alone. You are deeply loved. And your life right now is still unfolding, with meaning and light and purpose. So tomorrow morning, I'll be thinking of you, stretching, smiling, breathing, right alongside you. Until then, take care of your mornings, and your mornings will take care of you. If this video touched your heart, leave a comment below with one habit you'll try tomorrow. And if you know someone who needs this message, please share it with them. Let's grow stronger together, one gentle morning at a time.